Coach, thanks so much for doing this. The Zoom recordings continue here as we are social distancing and we're trying to be responsible and get through this thing so we can get to spring ball and get out of this and end the coronavirus and this pandemic.
Yeah, I know this has been different. It's been challenging for everyone, but it's something. I think it's the right thing that we're doing, and hopefully, sooner than later, everything gets better and we could get back to work and get back on campus.
You spent 27 years at the City College of San Francisco, and when Cougar fans hear City College of San Francisco, they think about a whole slew of great Cougs that have recently come through, from Shalom Luani to Rob Taylor to Aesop Winston, Anthony Gordon, Valencia, Derek Langford. All these guys have come through, and I missed a couple in there, and apologies to them. But what was your experience like coaching, as the offensive coordinator of the JUCO state championship with Aesop and Anthony Gordon? What are your memories of all those guys?
Just good times. Kids that really worked hard, to get where they are now. Aesop, just him coming in as a freshman, gray shirting his first year, coming out of high school with not a lot of stats, not a lot of programs, not highly recruited at all, but still needed to develop, like when I talked to him like about 2 weeks ago, and I was just telling him, the memories of him, just, wanting to be good and the work ethic that he had to be good. A lot of kids talk about being good, but they don't understand the work that comes into being developing into a good player or a great player. And Aesop was one of those guys, that took what I say to my guys, I could want it for you, but I can't want it more than you. And he was a kid who wanted it more for himself. So me being a coach that wanted him to be great and him wanting to be great himself, I think it was a great combination, and all his hard work paid off for him. And I'm thankful to see good things happen for him.
How about even further back? What was Coach Rolovich like as a player?
Oh, Coach Rolo, gray shirted, coming out of Marin Catholic. We knew from the first day when he was on scout team that he was going to be one of the best ones to come through the program. He was smart, was a big X's and O's guy, understood what his limitations were and what he needed to do to get better as a football player, and put in the work in the film room, on the field. But he was a good leader. He was always a great leader, getting guys out there to get the extra work in. And he did that as a gray shirt. It wasn't his freshman year when he became the starter, when he started to do those things. He was doing that as a gray shirt, getting guys, gray shirt receivers, and even receivers that were active, out there throwing after practice. And you can see why he's where he's at now, because it was just something that was in him from day one.
Can you always tell that early, or do some guys take some more time to develop and they're so young? As you're a freshman in college, do some guys kind of grow into themselves and mature and evolve?
Yes, most of them do. Like I said, a lot of the kids, they don't know what it takes to be a good player. They like the glory part, catching the balls, scoring the touchdowns, making big tackles, but the hard work in the weight room, the film room, working on your technique, understanding the schemes, and putting in that extra time to be a good football player is a big part of, their development. And a lot of kids coming out of high school, the reason why they're in JUCO is because they try to, they skip steps to try to be a great player. Some of them were just the best athlete on the football field, but they weren't the best guy in the classroom, or they're just underdeveloped because they're just thinking that I'm fast and I can outrun everybody. And so it shows in their game that they're immature. And going to JUCO, and especially playing in a program like City College of San Francisco, we help those guys develop not only physically, but mentally, and also in the classroom. And that's why you had a lot of great players that came through this program from that program.
Especially over the last 6, 7 years or so, when Coug fans hear City College of San Francisco for a new Coug, they get very excited because there's been so much success. What's the flip side view from the City College of San Francisco view of Washington State University and in what has been quite the pipeline these last few years?
The guys, every guy that came through this program, when they come back to visit, which they all do, they remember where they came from. They come back, they talk to the guys that are coming through the program at City College of San Francisco. And the one thing they always talked about was just the closeness of the team, the support the town, provides them. It feels like home to them. They haven't expressed the bad experience that they had here, and that's the one thing I noticed when I got here, just how friendly the people are, how much their passion for the program, and the excitement they have, when the new coaching staff like me being a part of, and just looking forward to this coming season. I think those things, just jump out because, some kids come back from programs and they don't have the experience that the kids had that came through this program.
You are the wide receivers coach here. So when you hear of Cougar wide receivers the last few years, you think about 20 guys. It's a huge group. What's it like for you to have such a large room, and what have you seen so far in dealing with those guys, albeit not in the room, but remotely?
They're excited, eager to learn. I think it's a lot of talent in that room. The tough thing right now is just, we could cover mental things like the scheme, the playbook, but just the lack of getting on the field and working on the timing, which, brings out the little subtle things that we talk about when we implement, our plays out of the playbook. You talk about all the little things, but those are things that usually come with reps, and not being able to do that, you're going to go through those growing pains once we finally get on the field. And a lot of those things are things that I think as much as you go over it and talk about it, they don't get it until they actually get a chance to run it. And I think that's going to be the fun part that we're missing is going through that stuff with the guys physically on the football field.
How much is there to learn? AIRAID to run and shoot from the wide receiver perspective, a lot of 4 wide receiver sets, but both pass heavy systems. How much of an adjustment is it for a wide receiver?
I think it's an adjustment where, they got to get used to pre-snap looks and then making reads post-snap, because teams will disguise coverages, and safeties roll down, once the ball snapped, or they drop, or corners, invert. They got to get used to really reading things after the snap and on the run. And that's a big part of the run and shoot offense, is being able to read your part of the coverage, because a pre-snap look could change as soon as that ball snapped, and you got to know your adjustments and what your route is about to change to as you're running. And in the beginning, you just try to get them to play fast and make mistakes moving fast instead of trying to be right moving slow. And that's a big part of this offense, is making mistakes moving fast, because now the picture cleans up a lot quicker for you. And now the game starts to move slower as you start seeing things a lot clearer.
Coach, I can't wait to get at it. Be safe, be well, be healthy, and I'm excited. This is the first time you and I have had the pleasure of speaking with you. So I look forward to doing it in person. I don't know if it's going to be a fist pound or a little elbow touch now, no more handshakes or whatever, but I can't wait to do it.
No, I can't wait either, man. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you, Coach.